Peace, y'all. What's good? It's your brother God Science up in here once again. Shout out, special salute to the few that do watch the videos and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all, true indeed. I just wanted to make a quick video on, a presentation I saw by Brother Farrakhan called "Jesus is the Key." And there's a couple of questions I always wanted to ask people that's involved in the NOI, registered Muslims, followers of Louis Farrakhan. Now, I have a lot of respect for Louis Farrakhan. It's hard for me to believe that this man didn't influence anybody or inspire them, especially in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s when he was young and very fiery, and nobody was representing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings like him. And a lot of people now that's against Farrakhan was a part of Farrakhan's organization, like brothers like Eric Muhammad. So he had a powerful force, you know what I'm saying, a voice, and he was speaking some real to real people, put his life on his line, his family members, and lives on the line to raise us up. What good has that done? That's a whole another video. But the point is this: the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to me is, I can call sort of like my spiritual father. Why? Because he was the first one that woke me up into consciousness, and now I'm on the path that I'm on right now. He had a lot to do with the person who I am: a better father, a better husband, just a better black man that's a part of his community, a better person. I've read a lot of his books, majority of all of them, and in those books, he's always stated that he was the last, and after him, there was no one else to come. And that's one of the big questions that I have. If you watch that presentation done by Brother Farrakhan, he's basically, I wouldn't say he's saying that he's Elijah Muhammad, but he's basically putting himself there as being part of the prophecy of someone coming. Now, did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad give him this authority and blessed him as his predecessor when he went before he passed away? Now, I know some people believe he didn't pass away. That's a whole nother video again. The point is, maybe he have said it in private to him. We don't know what was told to Brother Farrakhan privately by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I do know in those writings, in those books, he always claims that there's no one else behind him and that he can't even anoint someone as being a messenger or anything like that. God has to do it. If I'm quoting him right, someone asked him, and he said he doesn't have the power to anoint himself as the messenger. God anointed him as the messenger, and we all know the God and the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad that he was talking about. So my question is, if there's no one coming after him, what place does Brother Farrakhan play in it? Unless there's another book that I don't know, or like I said, if there's something that was said in privately, that you would take my place. But reading those books, it just seems like a contradiction, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why there is such a split in the NOI. You have some people, brothers like Brother Eric Muhammad, that I watch, that follow Honorable Elijah Muhammad and feels like he's the teacher of, or the leader of the NOI. And no, why should he follow Farrakhan? Because Farrakhan is a minister just like him. The thing about it is this: as I've grown in what you would call spirituality, I think it's kind of dangerous when we put a person as being a messiah. Um, like I said, I came through the nation of gods and earths, and from those days to now, a lot of things have changed. A lot of my belief systems, I don't like to call it belief system, knowing. And I do know that we all have that divine spark in us. Now, we do have leaders. Yes, we have great men like Jesus. We could debate if he was real or not. We have Buddha. We have so much other people that, yes, that can be mentor guides, that can teach us. But when we put someone higher than ourselves, I think that's when we set ourselves up for fucking failure, because all of us have that power within us. This is no disrespect to brother Farrakhan. I like I said, I have a lot of respect for him, his discipline. Um, the half of the people out here that's talking shit about him and degrading his name shouldn't even spit his name in his damn mouth, because they don't have half the discipline and have done half the work that this man has done. So I know some people even asking me, so who are you, that question? Well, that's the problem. If we start getting into that area where you can't question him, you can't say nothing, I don't agree with that bullshit. A man is a man. We should be able to question, do it respectfully. We can always critique someone and do it respectfully, and have questions and do it respectfully, and then we don't have to degrade their name. And I'm not calling names, but we know who does this shit. The point is, from what I have read from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a lot of books, he always claims that there's no one coming after him. There's no successor after him. He said that. Anybody that's telling me that he hasn't, please bring your proof. So my question is, where does Farrakhan get that authority from? Yes, he has carried on the Nation of Islam and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I think both all of us can agree that he's added on to that teachings and changed certain things. But I don't disagree with him on that part, surprisingly, because I believe he's evolved. He's doing things the best how he knows, and he's doing it from his perspective. For instance, Dianetics, taking that from Roy, the Hubble dude. Okay, sorry, I don't know his name right now. Ron Hubble, right? Taking Dianetics, I believe his intentions was to really help people with their mind, because as you can see what's going on in this world right now, black people are basically destroying themselves. We can't stand each other. We're acting totally different from what our nature is. Just like that video I saw of a bunch of brothers beating up a 15-year-old girl. It's embarrassing, and it's making us look like fucking animals. Excuse my language, but it is. So I get him trying to deal with that post-traumatic slave disorder that we have, and I do believe that shit is true. You are seeing the ramifications of fucking slavery, even though it wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean? So, and that also has to do with the Nation of Islam, Nation of Gods and Earths. I mean, I always ask this question: if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad lived longer, or Father Allah, would they have changed their teachings? Would they have added things to it? Would they have been like, or changed certain things, because they grew, they saw things different, they probably matured. You know, you can't tell me when you were 12 years old, for if you were a 35-year-old person now, in your 30s like me, that certain things that you believed back then or thought was real, it's changed. You have changed your perspective on certain things in life. You know what I mean? Because you lived and you experienced it. The same question goes to those. I think that's a great question. But just to end the video, my main question is the Honorable is Farrakhan, Brother Farrakhan, taking the place of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad anoint him as the next messenger, or to take his place. And if he did, is that written anywhere, or did he do it in private? These are to the NOIs. If you have the answer, leave it in the comment. No disrespect. Peace.